everyone, welcome back again to the Watchtower. This is Andy reporting from Monitor Duty, and today I am going to be doing a brief character history of SHAZAM. That is because the movie's coming out later this week, so I wanted to do a brief history of the character to catch everybody up to speed if they didn't know anything about the character. Because SHAZAM is one of my favorite superheroes, and I'm really looking forward to this movie, so I want to do something a little different today and give you guys a little bit of information about the character and, you know, maybe and some books maybe to read, so you guys will go out and learn some more about the character if you didn't already know and you're looking to dive into the character a little bit more. Maybe after you see the movie and it's if it looks as fun as the trailers do, I'm sure everybody will know more about the character. So, first off, SHAZAM, or Captain Marvel, as he was originally called when he was created in 1939 by Fawcett Comics, and he was created by writer Bill Parker and artist C.C. Beck. Shortly after his release, in 1939, his comic outsold every other comic on the shelf, including Superman. And it continued to outsell all the other comics for quite a while, until the early 1940s, when DC Comics filed a lawsuit against Fawcett Comics, saying that it was a plagiarism, and that many of the characters' attributes and stuff were just copying of Superman. So, by the late 1940s, SHAZAM was no longer, or Captain Marvel was no longer in publication. He was mothballed. He was mothballed for probably the next 20 or so years, until 1972, when DC Comics bought certain aspects of Fawcett Comics and started using Captain Marvel and his characters in DC books. At this point in time, they couldn't name the books Captain Marvel because Marvel Comics already had a character called Captain Marvel and Miss Marvel. So, to avoid copyright infringement and stuff, they named the books SHAZAM, or The Power of SHAZAM, or The Trials of SHAZAM, some sort of work-off of SHAZAM, which is what the character yells. He is in a early 2008 or late 2018 poll by list made by IGN of the 100 greatest superheroes of all time. They ranked SHAZAM number 50 on the list, and they said that his youthfulness and fun harkens back and reminds everyone of a simpler time in life. Okay, gonna go a little bit into the character's backstory and stuff like that, and his origin. Not gonna really go a whole lot about his whole characterization. I'm gonna give you some books that you should read and check out. But since he has been around for, you know, since 1939, there's a lot of history there. So we're just gonna hit the important stuff. Okay, so history-wise, Captain Marvel origin is his alter ego is right now it's a 14-year-old boy named Billy Batson. Before it was 10 or 12, his age has changed with different origins. When he was created originally in 1939, he was 12-year-old. He was a 12-year-old newspaper boy / disc jockey. He was a disc jockey at 12 years old for the radio station, who, when he was traveling to and from work one day, a stranger asked him to follow him down into the subway system, where he led him into a secret room within the subway system, and this stranger turned out to be the Wizard, who gave Billy Batson his powers. Obviously, there's a lot wrong with this origin, and it's not really one that you can use today. This was 1939, though, so things were a little bit different. The updated origin now is that in, I believe, 2011 or even 1991 version of it, when they redid the origin, they had that he was on the subway train and he was magically transformed out of it to a underground part of the subway system that no one could get to by the wizard, where the wizard greeted him and told him that he needed, told him that he was the wizard Shazam and that he needed a new champion to fight Black Adam, who was returning from over 1,000-year exile from deep space. Black Adam was the original wielder of the power of Shazam, and in ancient Egypt, and the power corrupted him, and the wizard and him fought, and the wizard cast him deep into space. And it took him thousands of years, but he was finally about ready to return to Earth. So the wizard had to find a new champion to defeat Black Adam. So he gives Captain Marvel, or Billy Batson, the power of Shazam by saying the word Shazam. And that stands for Solomon, Hercules, Atlas, Zeus, Achilles, and Mercury. And basically it gives him the power of all of those characters. So Billy Batson says the magic word and he becomes Shazam. But he still retains the mind and the mental process and the ideas of a 12 or 14-year-old, depending on which origin you're looking at. So he's got all the powers of Superman, but he's got the mind of an early teen. So it really, really makes just a lot of fun for the character. If you've read any of the stuff, or there's just a naivete and just a youthful look of life about him that contrasts him with other characters that are adults, because he looks like an adult, but he's really a child. So it's a really nice counterbalance to other superheroes. He's just a really, really fun, silly character. Alright, so that's been the basic origin of the character. As time will go by, other characters will get power of Shazam too. His best friend, Freddie Freeman, would get the power. He would become Captain Marvel Jr. His sister Mary would get the power and become Mary Marvel. And then with the New 52 and Rebirth relaunch, there were other characters in his foster home that got powers, and they became known as the Marvel family. There's also a tiger, an anamorphic tiger that walks upright and talks. It's called Tawny the Tiger, who is kind of like Billy Batson's mentor, because the wizard's kind of, after he gives him the power, he doesn't really die, but he leaves Earth. He goes into another plane of existence. But he's not really there, so Tawny the Tiger kind of pops up and is kind of his helper and everything. But that's been basically the origin of the character and some of his backstory. I'm not really going to go into his whole history and stuff and books that he's appeared in and stuff. I will tell you some good books to read if you're interested. First is Kingdom Come, a really, really, really good story that he plays a big part in. Not set within main DC continuity, so you can kind of just read it and jump in and read it, and that's all you need. You don't need to read anything else. Good story. Also, Justice is a mini-series by Alex Ross and Jim Krueger from the early 2000s. That also is a standalone story. Really, really good. It's more has like a gold or Silver Age feel to it. Very, very throwback book, but really well done. Beautiful book. All painted by Alex Ross. So good. You can also look at Jeff Johns' New 52 run of the character. That's really good. And then you can also do, then also he's got a current run right now Jeff Johns does that he started for Rebirth that I haven't read yet. I'm waiting for the first trade to come out, but I'm looking forward to picking that up. But yeah, there's some other stuff you can research and stuff. Google or the best Captain Marvel / Shazam stories. They'll come up with a list of them, but I guarantee you that Justice and Kingdom Come are probably going to be at the top of the list. Okay, that's been a brief character history of the character Shazam, aka originally Captain Marvel. Sorry, Donald, I had to do that. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. This is Andy signing off of the Watchtower.